Well, I have to make another video about another government official that is overreacting and abusing their power. Again, this isn't something I want to talk about, but it's important that you need to know what's going on. So, and especially if you are a member of the police in Rhode Island or the military, you need to not follow this order from the governor. All right, because literally you are making yourself vulnerable to a constitutional lawsuit. And after this is all said and done, you're going to be in court for violating someone's rights. So think about that if you're a police officer in Rhode Island. So it says here, Rhode Island police to hunt down New Yorkers seeking refuge. This is the governor right here, Gina Raimondo. This lady right here, she looks like she might be of a certain demographic, but she is a Democrat, by the way. So it just goes to show you, you have people on both sides of the aisle that are violating rights. I'm not just pointing the finger at Republicans here. So Rhode Island police began stopping cars with New York plates Friday. On Saturday, the National Guard will help them conduct house-to-house searches to find people who travel from New York and demand 14 days of self-quarantine. Right now, we have a pinpointed risk, Governor Gina Raimondo said. That risk is called New York City. New York is the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak in the U.S. on Friday, reporting a total of 44,000 cases. Now, hold it right here. All right? Hold it right here. The reason why we have so many cases in New York is because we are doing a better job testing than any other state in this country. There may be a lot of cases in Rhode Island, and those people haven't been tested yet. All right? But science doesn't matter at this point to these people. So Rhode Island has just over 200 cases right now, and it has been an aggressive campaign to keep the virus out and New Yorkers contained over objections from civil liberties advocates. So Raimondo, a Democrat, said she consulted lawyers and said while she couldn't close the border, she felt confident she could enforce a quarantine. So many New Yorkers have summer homes in Rhode Island, especially in Tony Newport, and the governor said the authorities would be checking there. Yesterday I announced, and today I reiterated, anyone coming to Rhode Island in any way from New York must be quarantined, the governor said. By order, will be enforceable by law. You're assuming that all these people have the virus when they may not have the virus. And like I said before, the virus, unfortunately, there's probably a lot of people in Rhode Island that have the virus that just haven't been tested yet. Raimondo signed an executive order Thursday that applies to anyone who has been in New York during the past 2 weeks and through at least April 25. It doesn't apply to public health, public safety, or healthcare workers. So if you want to get to Rhode Island, the best way around this is to maybe take a boat or something. Hopefully. So National Guard members will be stationed at the TF Green Airport, Amtrak train stations, and bus stops. So even if you want to go and take mass transit there, you're going to be stopped. The citizen soldiers will be following up with people at the local residences. So again, this is like unconstitutional. Anyone who's doing this, the soldiers, whatever, you are opening yourself up. If you are a Rhode Island, you happen to be watching this video, highly unlikely, but you will be opening yourself up to litigation in the future by following this governor's unconstitutional order. So the maximum penalty for not complying is a fine at 590 days in prison, which will surely be tossed out. The local chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union blasted the new rules, objecting to the collection of motorists' contact information in particular. While the governor may have the power to suspend some state laws and regulations to address this medical emergency, she cannot suspend the Constitution. Rhode Island ACLU Executive Director Stephen Brown said in a statement. Under the Fourth Amendment, having a New York State license plate simply does not and cannot constitute probable cause to allow the police to stop a car and interrogate the driver, no matter how laudable the goal of the stop may be. So just before 1 p.m. on Friday, state police were set up on Interstate 95 northbound at the rest stop closest to the Connecticut border. A mile or two before that, motorists could see signs ordering all New York vehicles to pull over at the rest stop. One trooper could be seen checking license plates as cars went by. At the stop itself, a number of officers were assembled around a tent, ready to question vehicle occupants. So what this is doing is not really... Let me explain something to you, right? This lady right here, all right? What she's doing is not actually protecting anyone, because now all those New Yorkers, I hope the cops are wearing masks and everything, because if they do have the virus, now all the cops are going to get infected with it. And like I said before, assume that this virus is in every state, it's in every town. We have to stop the community spread, and that means closing areas where people congregate, hence the restaurant dining rooms, hence the schools, hence the colleges, hence the malls, the movies, and all that. But this isn't going to do anything but cause people to panic even more. And if you live in Rhode Island, boy, I tell you, it's this lady here. I'm telling you, she has really lost her mind. And what can I tell you? This lady, I can go to her Twitter. Right here. Let's see. Go to her Twitter here. This is her governor. So she's. Oh, look at this. She only just did the non-essential retail business. She only just did it when she should have done it much sooner. We did it a long time ago. So it's already too late, lady. It's already too late. You're violating. It says you may go out to get some fresh air, but not if you're a New Yorker. So yeah, I understand people shouldn't be fleeing the city. I don't think it's a good idea to have all these people going out and traveling out of the city, but this is only going to make it worse. The East End has talked about this. This is only going to make it worse. And I understand a lot of the people in the city live in small apartments, and they have houses they can stay in, and that's fine. Let them go to their houses, but we don't need the police knocking on their door saying, "You got to stay in your house. You're not allowed to go out for a walk." That is completely unconstitutional, and it's not like they have the virus. Again, the virus is everywhere. Wouldn't it be funny if this lady has the virus? She could have the virus for all we know. Maybe she's not showing symptoms. Has she been tested? New Yorkers have the most cases because we have the most cases because we have the most testing. That's why. All right. So this discrimination and racism against New York has got to stop, and it's got to stop now. All right. So it says New York opposes quarantine. It says right here is another article. So good for New York. I'm glad New York is opposed to it. And so it says here, this is about what I read before about this. So this is a chart here of the virus cases, and this just looks at the cases, and you can see the cases are rising everywhere. But I think what's really important is to look at the hospitalizations, because those are the hospitalizations are the issue, and that is Rhode Island doing anything? This lady is running her mouth, but is she doing anything to expand the hospital capacity in Rhode Island? Because every governor should be doing that, not just New York, because it's going to go up everywhere in this country. All right? But some people, they just don't want to listen to science. So Rhode Island Governor Gina Raimondo, well, now you've just taken the top spot of worst governor in the country from Ron DeSantis. Now you are the worst governor in the country. So congratulations. Anyway, take care, and let's pray that this insanity ends, all right? Because this doesn't help anybody. It only makes things worse.